Ladies and gentlemen, we interrupt your regularly scheduled programming to bring you this special, not-so-shocking bulletin. To say that Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League video games from WB Studios was an absolute abject failure would be an understatement of the century, more than likely. And whoever greenlit some of the additions from the expansions over the first year, well, if you ask me, I think they need to be fired. But first off, the idea that the video game itself contributed to $200 million loss for Warner Brothers Discovery. That's a bit ridiculous. I know a lot of people are saying that the game lost $200 million itself by itself. Now, while that probably is possible, depending on the budget of this astronomical failure, I believe the wording of the quote from the studio is that it contributed. So take that with whatever you want to. But with the ongoing model, I guess, games as a service model, they need to keep pushing out content because they have to deliver on what they promised, for all 446, maybe 500 players. If you remember this wonderful, the first little edition, they introduced the Joker, the gay Joker. Say what you want, argue what you want. That's what they made the character. The dialogue, the look. He's rather fancy, if you know what I mean. And, well, there's a good bit of the dialogue that contributes to the idea that this Joker from an Elseworld, from another dimension, yes, is a bit on the, we'll just say, queer side. And it goes even further than that, because more recently they introduced numerous skins. And I don't know whose idea this was or why this is supposed to look good. Are these zombie clowns? Are this supposed to be some sort of homage to another game? The Joker's gang? I mean, you have the Joker right here in the middle who looks absolutely he looks like he used to be in a camp. One of those little summer camps. Well, anyway. More recently, there's been hints, more suggestions, little hints here and there that apparently the Suicide Squad patch added a small tease in Metropolis for Season 2 because less than 500 people are just so excited for this lovely little games of service little teaser. So if you take a look at here, it almost looks like they're going to be introducing Mrs. Freeze. Mrs. Freeze. Now, this game was such an absolute, let's go ahead and say, dumpster fire. They could not even get the launch correct. People were loading up the game and immediately getting the achievement for completing the game, seeing cutscenes and whatnot, finding out what happened. And they couldn't even fix it after the fact because, well, apparently it's been previously hinted at that Freeze was in there because some of the banter from Brainiac. If you want to take a listen to this, let's make sure the volume's all the way up.
I didn't expect you to be the weak link in this chain, Freeze.
I didn't expect you to be the weak link in this chain, Freeze. So, real good job at keeping things under wraps. They've done such a fantastic job so far with this game, whether it's the live service, the abysmal numbers over here, the addition of the wonderful Joker. Are you excited? And then, of course, these lovely little skins that I don't know. Whose idea was this exactly? I don't know. But there's a little screenshot, a little snippet going around of what Mrs. Freeze is supposed to look like. What else is the article? Oh, making the round. Seems like some of Brainiac's incidental combat banter, featuring Victoria, got missorted. Oopsie daisy. Victoria Freeze. Now, if you were expecting anything like this, I'm afraid I've got some very bad news for you. The screenshot that's going around, the wonderful, I don't even know what to say. Someone should be let go. Someone should be fired. These screenshots, these images, these models, these were greenlit. Someone thought it would be a good idea. Now, it should come as no surprise that, especially in today's environment, the entertainment environment, atmosphere going around, the thoughts, ideas, processes, that, well, we have to go the female route. Say what you want. The MCU is a thing. DC is not going to be any different. Taking any male character, whether it is a superhero or a bad guy, who would you have preferred? Let's say we're using this model right here of Mrs. Freeze or Miss Freeze. This would have been preferable. But I can't imagine anyone wanting Mrs. Freeze over Mr. Freeze, the iconic one of Batman. Of course, all of Batman's villains, his bad guys, are iconic. They are beloved, especially if you grew up watching Batman the Animated Series. Wonderfully written characters, wonderfully performed characters. And yet, this is what we get. A Karen haircut. Apparently a double... Anyway, I'm not going to go there. Yes, I am. This is hideous. This is absolutely hideous. This is an abomination. It never should have seen the light of day. Who on earth's idea was it to put this model in the game as an iconic Batman villain? You want to go with the female version of it? Sure, fine. No big surprise coming out of any single solitary developer out there right now. It's about as much of a shock that they're going to use a female Mr. Freeze as, I don't know, Ricky Martin coming out as gay. No one was surprised. This, using a female Mr. Freeze, no surprise whatsoever, but my goodness gracious, could you have done a better job? It's leading to accusations with this article from that Park Place. Alleged, we all know it's true, we all know it's correct. It will not surprise anyone. Accused of promoting trans. Now, this might be a reach, but hey, you know what? We're going to talk about it for right now. My goodness. Ex-user Mangle Lawyer, going by Learning the Law. Rocksteady, the developers of Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League, transform Mr. Freeze into a non-binary Karen, they, them. Now, that is obviously speculation. However, it is a rather believable speculation. Again, simply based on the track record of these gaming studios out there. The they, them pronouns is very popular right now. You go ahead and make that decision for yourself, how much you like and dislike them. Cyberpunk did it. Well, Cyberpunk had the body types. Starfield allowed you to change your pronouns from he, she to they, them. Or he, him, she, her, they, them. It gave you the option to change those. More and more games are going with body types. So this, again, like I said, no big surprise, non-binary Karen, they, them. The Karen going off the haircut, but my goodness, the non-binary. Why are these ideas out there? If you wanted to do a Mrs. Freeze, just go with this one. Nobody would have had a problem with it. Everyone maybe thought it was interesting, but this... Holy Moses. People are talking about it on Twitter, sure. Learning the Law says again, I predicted this before the game's release, and the backlash was intense. A teepee and a wigwam. They perceive femininity and female anatomy as threats to society. Now, they've made character transgender. Have they, though? I don't want to make that speculation because you're just going to come off... you run the risk of coming off foolish. Calling them just ugly as sin and the character model is hideous, sure, go that route. Taking this route, I'm not going to do that just yet. We're going to wait till the final release. Do I think Learning the Law statement here is going to be 100% accurate? Well, again, I'll leave that to you to decide. Take note of Mrs. Freeze's chest. Or lack thereof. That's not a woman. Oh, this is back in May 20th. Oh, on May 23rd. Wait a minute. I will say it again and again. Western developers hate women. So Harley Quinn went from rather sexy to a bit on the flat-chested side. Why is this happening? Why go with a character model this hideous? Why go with these? Now, again, like I said earlier in the video, this is possibly trying to play tribute to a previous game, but what in the actual fuck is this? I don't know. Are you still playing? Are you one of the 486 players playing right now with the 24-hour peak time? Well, I guess I said 446 players. Still a 13,459 all-time peak that will never, ever be exceeded. People aren't interested in this game, this live service, ongoing multiplayer co-op game. I think this is a failure. This is not going to help it any way, shape, or form. I can't wait to see and point and laugh at the rest of the nonsense that comes out of the season passes. Season 3, 4, and 5. Wait to be seen. Let me know what you think in the comments. Are you excited? Do you want to see? Give us this. What's wrong with this? Give us this, Mrs. Freeze. Give us this one. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments. Leave a like, leave a dislike, do all those nifty little things that YouTube is begging you to do, and I hope to see you on the next one.